Well, y'all had a lot to say about the Barbie and American Girl collab, so I thought I'd hop back on here and address some of the comments that some of y'all have been leaving in my comment section. So grab a snack and let's chat about the American Girl Barbie. Not that one. You know the one I'm talking about. If you're wondering why this video looks and sounds different, that's because I have all new camera equipment. I have a new camera and a microphone, and it's thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon. I don't get paid a lot by YouTube, so the only way I'm able to invest in this channel and keep growing it and upgrading everything is thanks to generous support from people on Patreon. So thank you so much. And if you want to contribute to this channel, you can do so at visiting patreon.com/idreamofjohnny. Okay, onto the video. So the American Girl and Barbie collaboration sold out within an hour of launching to the public. I got mine with early access the day before, so I'm good as long as I don't get a f***ed up one. American Girl has made it pretty clear that they're not doing returns or exchanges on these dolls, so hopefully there aren't too many factory issues with these things, because I know there are going to be a lot of unhappy people if they pay $300 for a doll they can't return if it's got a f***ed up eye. I swear, if I get one with a f***ed up eye, I'm putting her on eBay so fast her little dolly head will spin. But I guess it wouldn't be a Barbie release without some form of controversy. I feel like one of the biggest complaints I've been hearing about this doll is that there were a ton of people that wanted to purchase her that couldn't purchase her. And I know that whenever releases are limited, there's always going to be some disappointment amongst the community, but I feel like just the Canadian people alone basically weren't even allowed to purchase these, whether it was like logistical issues getting the dolls shipped or trying to find somebody in America to purchase them for them, and it just ended up being like over $400. So there were a lot of issues with people just trying to purchase the dolls and they couldn't do it. And I also have to say, I feel like a majority of the dolls that were purchased on release day, especially in the beginning, were likely purchased by flippers just to put them on eBay. And obviously this is super frustrating for people who just genuinely want the doll. And I'm guessing that the intent of limiting the dolls to 3 per order was really to cover people that might be purchasing them as gifts. But honestly, I feel like it was mostly flippers taking advantage of this. So that's why you're seeing like 10 of these pop up a day on eBay. People are just in it to make a quick buck off of the doll community, which honestly kind of sucks. There have also been a ton of questions and criticisms regarding the logistics of this entire thing. For instance, if these dolls are being made to order and they aren't shipping until a year from now, why are they selling out? For starters, collector doll sales at American Girl really weren't great this year. I just feel like they made too many of them and the economy sucks right now. So I kind of think American Girl needed a win with a sold out release on the first day. And I know you're thinking, if they're not being made in advance, why can't they just put them on sale for 2 weeks and see how many they can sell? I think there are probably 2 reasons behind this. Number one, it just looks great if your product sells out on the first day. It means there's a really high demand for that product and everybody wants it. And number two, this product involves 3 separate licenses. One for American Girl, one for Barbie, and one for Swarovski crystals. I will never say that correctly. But it's likely that Swarovski has some really tight regulations about how their product is used and how their trademark is licensed. So this would have all been in discussion right from the very beginning before these dolls were probably even sketched. Negotiations about profit margins and number of units sold, all of that stuff would have been discussed well in advance. So by the time this product was available to the public, all of this stuff was signed, sealed, and delivered, so it's not changeable. So I feel like at least months ago, American Girl was probably having to make their best guess about how many units of these that they could sell. And honestly, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if they were originally slated to do like 8 or 10,000 of these and maybe knocked it down to 5,000 just based on the poor sales of the holiday dolls this year. I know that people have also been really critical of the retail price point on these dolls, which was $300 US, and I totally empathize with that. Like personally, I feel like we could have ditched the crystals and maybe possibly gotten this doll closer to like a $225 or $250 price point. I think it would have been a little bit more accessible for more people, but again, it's sold out and flippers got these, so I think half the people buying these are going to probably have to pay $400, $500, maybe even $600 for them, which again really sucks because like 15% of that is going to eBay fees. But yeah, I feel like getting rid of the crystals really wouldn't have made this doll feel like any less of a collector doll, but it probably would have helped get the price point down a little bit just so people could purchase them, or at least given them a little bit more time to come up with the money to pay for them, because we found out about this release like the day before they were available. But yeah, I feel like we're going to be under the chokehold of the American Girl crystal cartel for quite a long time. I also saw a lot of people complaining that this doll was completely inappropriate for children, and I guess apparently children don't wear bathing suits or play with makeup. I mean, didn't some of y'all get little kitten heels in your Easter baskets when you were a kid? I feel like I saw a meme floating around the internet around the release of the Barbie movie about kitten heels and Easter baskets. So yeah, I feel like kids play around with this stuff. It's just cosplay. Like, to me, I kind of view this doll as basically like a 9-year-old dressing up as Barbie for Halloween. I just think it's not that deep. It was a fun collaboration to celebrate the Barbie movie, and honestly, like, the movie was PG-13, so I feel like if the movie isn't for kids, like, why should the doll be? Y'all need to chill. So yeah, that whole thing was like a non-issue for me, and Barbie isn't inherently sexual. She's just not. And that lore that she was based off a German doll is like quite exaggerated. And just because your brother did questionable things with your naked Barbies, that doesn't make her a object. People have boobs, get over it. Why do we literally always evaluate everything based on the male gaze? By the way, that's G-A-Z-E. Anyway, I feel like Barbie has had her fair share of real controversies, so I'm not trying to bootlick a corporation. But for me, there's just no there. Also, while on the subject of there, based on some of y'all's Facebook posts, you might want to take a screenshot of this. Okay, sorry for the break in continuity here, but it is so hot here. I'm in North Carolina now, and it's like the first week of December, and it's like t-shirt weather, which I love, but I'm having a hard time getting used to like picking out what to wear every day. All right, where were we? I will say that one of the commenters in my last video had a really great point, and it was that they could have easily avoided complaints if they had just picked another version of Barbie for this collaboration, like Totally Hair Barbie. And regardless of everything I just ranted about, I think this is a really great idea. A Totally Hair American Girl doll would have been so freaking cool. And I don't feel like we need another Barbie movie to justify future collaborations between American Girl and Barbie. They're owned by the same company, so I would love to see multiple collaborations in the future. Like I said, this is a great opportunity to cross over the 18-inch American Girl dolls over into the Barbie fandom that has a really, let's just say, excited collector base for Barbie. So I think this is a really great gateway doll into the 18-inch doll world, particularly with American Girl. So I think it would work to everybody's favor for Mattel to do more crossovers like this. And speaking of a wave 2, I feel like it's very possible that we might actually get one because these dolls sold out so fast. And again, you heard my complaint in the last video that we only had a light skin version of this Barbie, and I think a wave 2 would be a really great opportunity to add new skin tones into the mix. So like we could have light, medium, and deep skin tones plus like an Asian version. I think that would be so awesome. That really is in the spirit of Barbie. I mean, hello, Barbie and the Rockers? Can you imagine the Corinne sculpt as Dana? I would eat my own head for that. So yeah, while I think that the #1 Barbie was a really great place to start, I think there's so much more that we can explore here. Someone else mentioned that they should do a reverse collab, so like basically Barbie dolls dressed as the original historical dolls from Pleasant Company. Can you imagine how awesome it would be to take like the 80s version of Skipper, which is my personal favorite version of Barbie of all time, and having her dressed up as like the original 6 historicals? That would be such a cool idea for like the 40th anniversary of American Girl. If anyone from American Girl is watching this, want to send me an email? So yeah, those were some of the hot takes on the release day of the American Girl Barbie collaboration. And just as a reminder, I make almost no money making these videos on YouTube, so I rely on the generous support of our community over on Patreon. The lowest tier is only $3 a month, and you get an exclusive video every single week, which is my video podcast series called Doll Diaries. Right now, it's mostly American Girl content, but if you enjoy unboxings and my takes on all of the drama happening in the doll community every week, you might want to check it out. I'm also working on a complete, in-depth collector's guide for Pleasant Company dolls that you can use as a reference guide when buying things on eBay, or just trying to figure out when things in your collection were made. Think of it as an abridged digital version of the collector's guidebook that I'm working on that should hopefully be out next year. And the more people that join Patreon, the sooner I can make it happen. And like I said, if you're enjoying the improved video and audio quality today, that is thanks to the support from patrons on Patreon. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me make this channel better. So one more thing before we wrap up today, I just wanted to say that I have noticed a lot of bickering and arguing, particularly on Facebook, which of course it's happening on Facebook, but I just wanted to kind of send a reminder to everybody to please be kind to one another. I know it's easy to click on profiles and, you know, see that somebody might be a horrible person politically, and believe me, I've done my fair share of that, but it's really important to keep this community a place where we can all support each other, because ultimately, like, we're all doll weirdos and the world can be kind of a rough place for us at times, so I think it's really important for us to stick together. All right, enough Pollyanna bullshit. If you want to follow me on TikTok and Instagram, you can find me there at I Dream of Johnny. And also, I have a really big announcement coming soon for my shop. I'm actually doing a complete relaunch of everything, and there's going to be new products, like particularly some really awesome merch that I'm really proud of and excited about. And it's going to be at a new location at idreamofjohnny.com. So be sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel so you don't miss when the launch happens. That's all for today, but I have a ton more doll videos, so if you want to keep hanging out, just click the video on your screen and we can keep doing this. I'd love to see you there. Ta-ta for now.